Hey up everyone, welcome to the Rugby Leigh history channel. Hope you're all well. Tonight's video is going to be me round 10 tips for the 2021 Betfred Super League competition. So let's start with the first game, which is kicking off on the Wednesday, which is tomorrow. It's between Wakefield, Trinity and Castleford. This one's kicking off at 7:45 PM live on Sky Sports. So if you got Sky Sports, it's available to you. And it's being played at Belle, Wakefield's home ground. Wakefield have won 3 of their last 4 games. As for Castleford though, they've only won 1 of the last 6 Super League matches. They did make the final of the 2021 Challenge Cup final. So for Castleford, they're in a bit of a hole at the moment. They started the year off great, and now they've kind of hit a bit of a brick wall. As for Wakefield, with those 3 wins that they've had, they've pushed themselves away from that relegation zone. I watched the game last week between Hull FC and Castleford, and I thought Castleford were very disappointing, especially in front of their home crowd there at Weldon Road. This is a derby game though, so form goes out the window, but I'm going to tip a bit of a upset, you could say. I'm going to go for Wakefield to win this match tomorrow. I'm going to go for them to win between 6 to 10 points. I don't tip Wakefield that often, but I just have a feeling that they're going to beat Castleford tomorrow. Castleford's form as of late has been poor, and I'm confident that Wakefield can get a win. The next match is on Thursday. It's between St Helens and Warrington. This one's kicking off at 7:45 PM. This one's also on Sky Sports. This sees the second place team St Helens up against the 4th place team Warrington. I think this is the game of the round personally. St Helens, they didn't play last week because of the COVID situation, and Warrington had that victory over Wakefield Trinity. So St Helens should be fresh coming into this game because they've had the week off, and I'm expecting St Helens to win this game. I think they're probably going to win between 1 to 12 points. This is going to be, I think, a tight game for St Helens. St Helens are not used to being challenged by most clubs in the Super League, but I think they're going to get a bit of a challenge from Warrington. Warrington have been playing all right over the last month or so, but I just see St Helens winning on the Thursday night. The third game of the round sees Huddersfield up against Salford. This one's being played at the John Smith Stadium, and it's kicking off at 7:45. Now this game might be called off because of the COVID situation. I was reading something in the news that the game might be called off due to the COVID problems that we're having in England currently. But for Salford, they're in real trouble at the moment. The last 2 games, they've conceded over 100 points. They got belted last week against Hull. A fortnight ago, they had that really embarrassing loss against Warrington. As for Huddersfield, they've been playing all right. Of course, as we know, they started the year off very slow, but they've slowly gotten better. If this game does go ahead, I imagine that Huddersfield will be fresh for this match because they also didn't play due to the COVID situation last week. Their other game was called off. But for this game, I'm going to go for Huddersfield to win 13+. I think Salford have got some real problems in defence that they need to work out, and I don't think it's going to be an overnight fix. So I'm going to go for Huddersfield to win 13+. The next match on the Friday sees Wigan against Hull Kingston Rovers. This one's also kicking off at 7:45, and this one's being played at the DW Stadium in Wigan. So Hull KR is 6th at the moment on the table. They've won 4 of their last 6 games. And as for Wigan, they're 3rd at the moment, but they had their game called off as well due to COVID, the COVID situation. Hull KR have been playing all right over the last 4 to 6 weeks. For Wigan, besides that loss against Catalan where they were beaten 48-0, I think they've been all right. And I know they've still got some players out. I know that Bevan French is out for 12 weeks. I think Zach Hardiker's still got 1 more week left on that suspension for headbutting Sam Tompkins. But I will go for Wigan to win this match. I'll go for Wigan to win 1 to 12. I think that they'll be just a little bit too good for Hull KR, even though I think Hull KR will put up a bit of a fight in this match. And then the final game to close out the round comes to you on Saturday. This one's between Leigh and Hull FC, kicking off at 3 o'clock in the afternoon at the Leigh Sports Village. So Leigh have not won a game all year, and pretty much nearly every game they're losing by 30 or 40 points. Except for last week, they did put up a bit of a fight against the Catalan Dragons. It was a bit of a tennis score in the end. If Catalan would have got another try, it would have been 40-30. For Hull FC, they've been playing all right. I mean, they did get that win over Castleford last week, but in the last 6 weeks they've won 3 games, so they're 50-50 at the moment. They're sitting 5th on the table. They have got some players back. I don't really hold out too much hope for Leigh in this match. I'm going to go for Hull FC to win by at least 13 plus, maybe even 19 plus over Leigh. I just don't see where Leigh are going to get a win this year. To be fair, I just don't see it. Their only really good game that they played was the opening round against Wigan, where they had 30 good minutes, and then after that it just fell apart like a deck of cards. So that's my tips for round 10 of the 2021 Betfred Super League competition. Of course, people might be wondering, what about Catalan Dragons and Leeds Rhinos? Well, that game was called off due to the COVID pandemic and the COVID situation. So the Vindaflu's all over the place in some parts of the country, and especially in France, so people are going to need their Punjab, and we'll just have to see how in the coming weeks if further games are called off. But definitely Catalan Dragons against Leeds has been called off. Anyway, that's my tips. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, let me know in the comment section below. Anyways, I'm getting out of here, and I'll catch you all later in the next one. Alright, tatty bye now.